So we're here with Nagel, one of the most amazing sailors like the world has ever seen. You've done it all, from the Southern Ocean, from the SAILGP, from the Star Sailor League. So can you tell me a little bit about your career and what each of these events has taught you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bit of a bizarre career. I went from focusing on an engineering degree and trying to work in the design side to realizing I just wanted to be on the water all the time, and chased after the Vola ocean race, which was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I learned so much in that year, not just about sailing, but as about myself as a person and what I'm actually able to handle and how to control my emotions, how to fight for what I want. And it was just this incredible year that really opened up my eyes to this world of professional sailing, and since then I just haven't wanted to stop. I've tried to chase after kind of all of my big crazy goals. I've always been obsessed with foiling, which is why I'm at Foiling Week. But because of that, I chased a job within SAILGP. The dream was always to race on the boats, but I've done everything now, from being a data analyst to trialling as a sailor, and now I'm working as one of the commentators. So it's a bit of everything, but I just love being involved in that world of high performance racing and continuing to learn as much as possible. And then most recently I was with Star Sailors League, representing Bermuda, which is where I grew up. And that was kind of a completely different project for me. It was much more about actually creating a team for Bermuda and really showing what young Bermudians are capable of, but also introducing a lot of them to kind of racing on the world stage, because a lot of them haven't. This was their first time in that professional environment. So that project's a lot more about kind of bringing up the youth, creating a pathway in Bermuda for keelboat sailing, and just seeing what more can be done out there to encourage more young men and women to get into sailing.
That's wicked. So you talked before about controlling emotions. How does it go for going in the Southern Ocean? So that's a curiosity of mine, because of course I've never been in the Southern Ocean. Probably I'll never go there. But how does that work?
It was a big learning curve for me. I was always excited to go to the Southern Ocean because I'd read about it, I'd heard about it, I thought it'd be this huge adventure. And then obviously you get down there and the conditions are brutal. It's snowing, it's windy, it is scary, and there is this element of fear, which to a certain extent is healthy, to kind of have that fear and the nerves. It makes you safer on board because you think about these things. But my first week or so, I was too scared, which hindered my performance as a sailor on board. And so kind of over the course of the year I really kind of learned to try and calm myself down, shut out emotion when things go badly, just kind of ignore it, stay neutral, and move on. It allows you to focus a lot more when you're in these situations that really do require 100% focus. And then you can unpack the emotion when you're nice and safe on shore later.
Well, that sounds intense.
It is, but it's worth it, and I think it's something that I brought forward with me into all of my sailing, and it's really helped, when I go Moth sailing, that I don't get distracted by the emotion of the race anymore. I can just focus on the sailing. It's helped me grow as a person, as cheesy as that is.
And that's the most important thing. And then before you mentioned about making more opportunities for both men and women, and I'm here to talk about gender equality, because sailing is no secret, still a sport for men, unfortunately. You're again a woman that has done it all, so congratulations for that. What do you think are the main issues of this sport, and why is this sport not gender equal friendly?
I think it's a very complex problem. There is a certain level of sexism that does exist, but it also exists because typically the boats do have heavy loads, and to be completely honest, I can't lift the same weights that the guys can. I'm not as strong. I do try and be as fit, but I definitely don't have the strength behind me, and because of that, that has meant I haven't been able to take certain opportunities that young guys can have. So there's different challenges, but it's one of those things that if you just persevere, work hard, you show that you are capable of being a trimmer on board or navigator. There's certain roles that women tend to fit in better than men do, and I think by pushing desire to learn regardless of your gender, you get to learn from the best, both men and women. There's still a long way to go in sailing to kind of create more opportunities, not just for women. Like, obviously I would love there to be more opportunities for women, but I'm equally aware that it can be just as hard for guys to get roles on the professional circuit. And all round, I think we just need to make the sport less elitist, less about who your mates are, and more about just giving opportunities to those who work hard and deserve to be out on the water.
Okay, last question as well, and then I'll let you go. What are the opportunities that we have now for women besides Olympic sailing?
So Olympic sailing is the obvious one, where they strive for 50-50, but there are a lot of other areas of sailing that are really pushing it forwards as well. Vola Ocean Race, now the Ocean Race, has been one of the leaders in this, in implementing a female, it's not a requirement but an encouragement. You get more people on board if you had 2 females, which is how I got into the Volvo, was the introduction of that rule, which gave me a massive opportunity that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And you're starting to see it more and more. The America's Cup moving forward is going to have a women's America's Cup. SAILGP are pushing their women's pathway, both of which, there's a long way still to go with those. Getting women into the active sailing roles, putting them on the same stage as the guys. But progress is being made, and we just need to see that trickle down more into kind of the mid-level of sailing, when you've kind of got your owner-driver circuits. There's some really cool things going on in the foiling world right now. If you look at the Easy to Fly circuit, 69Fs, they've both got huge numbers of girls racing, and on a level playing field. Like, the girls are taking just as many wins from the boys, which is really exciting to see, and I'd love to see more of that in fleets like the GC32, P42s, and just create more opportunities for both young women and young guys.